All right, my friends, let's talk about the movie Nocturnal Animals. So I recently saw a clip on Instagram with Jake Gyllenhaal. He was driving with his wife and his kid in the car, and a group of guys come around hassling him. I was like, what movie is this? So I got to watching it yesterday, and this is directed by, I believe, Tom Ford. And in this movie, Isla Fisher receives a book from Jake Gyllenhaal, and she's an artist, a very well-known artist in this movie. And this movie really dives into three stories, kind of, because you have Isla Fisher with her current life receiving the story from Jake Gyllenhaal. You have the second story, which is the story from Jake Gyllenhaal that he wrote. And then you have the third story, which is when Jake Gyllenhaal and Isla Fisher were together. And so this movie is loaded with a great cast. I mean, I thought the cast did a phenomenal job. The acting in this movie, remarkable. Another thing with this movie too, was the stories. Something I liked about it, I really liked the story from Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, it's super sad, dark, depressing, but I thought it was the most interesting out of all the stories with what they were going into. It's almost like a crime mystery that you're getting to see what happens, and kind of like a crime thriller, but also, like I said, very, very dark. Like the fact that Jake Gyllenhaal's character wrote this story that you guys will get to see is nuts. I mean, it's a wild story, but I did find that to be the most interesting out of the story. Within Isla Fisher's current life, I didn't find that interesting. And then her backstory with Jake Gyllenhaal is probably the second most interesting story of it, but her current life was just, I don't know. The whole movie, all the stories tie together, so you have to see all different pieces of the story to put the puzzle together. And it's kind of a confusing way of putting it too. Another con with this is it kind of lost me when it would jump back and forth in different times, but that's just me. it got a little wonky, a little confusing when I was like, okay, which part are we, Jake Gyllenhaal and Isla Fisher are back together, and then all this, but I really did love how much metaphors this movie was. I mean, this is a movie you're going to be talking about afterwards. You're really going to be trying to dive into and see how the story that Jake Gyllenhaal put together and how it all ties together within the other two stories that are within it. But yeah, Nocturnal Animals, this is a really great cast. The story was very unique. Only con, like I said, it jumps around a lot, so it kind of takes away from a little bit from the story for me. But overall, I would give this movie an A-. It's worth the watch.